Hey, so I have this idea for moving furniture using robotics. And it's a slightly different take on how robotics is done right now. Well, robotics is evolving in an intricate and diverse set of ways. But my idea is actually pretty simple. And there's two ways how it could actually come about. One is to use super tensile strong materials like graphene and use those to create mini robots like about the size of your fist. Or the other alternative is to just use make robots using existing materials, alloys, and perhaps other materials, and attach a wheel on top of it. So my idea is that you basically have, again, a robot, and they're going to be used in combination with each other. Um, it's not going to be too big like Atlas or the Big Dog or Valkyrie in a Google slash NASA or even Boston Robotics kind of fashion. Um, Boston Robotics and Google used to be the same thing, but they've split. Anyway, so it's not those kind of scales like a human or animal like dog scale or mule scale or anything like that. These are actually smaller robots, and they're about this big, right? And they're kind of like anthropods. Um, and like I said, they're either made from super strong materials or they have a wheel on top of them, like attached. Like imagine a wheel that kind of is attached to the top of a robot, literally about this size, the size of my hand. So these can obviously maneuver themselves relatively easy. They can climb top surfaces, they can climb down, they can climb this way or that way, all right? And here's what's gonna happen. So a little bit of a backdrop of how I thought of this idea. I was at a auditorium this morning, and after the meeting concluded, the furniture was to be moved back to its original place, which was some of the furniture came from the other room, which was like a cafeteria. Some of the furniture was like the chairs were folded up and they would go on a kind of like a rack, and some of the furniture went back to the storage. So I was thinking, like, we spent maybe like 20 minutes moving the furniture. It wasn't a lot of furniture. There was a lot of people there. But imagine like how much work effort is put in place when it comes to moving furniture every day in boardrooms and auditoriums, meeting rooms, a whole bunch of places, mostly large scale places where there's a lot of churn for people coming in and out of that room or that building. So anyways, going back to the idea, this is where I got the idea. It's like moving the furniture around. So imagine if there were these robots that were like at a facility not bigger than this room, which is not too big. It's like maybe like 5 feet by, I don't know, 14 feet. And they would just rest here and charge themselves up. And, there would be like some kind of there would be like a platform, obviously, for something like this. And there would be some kind of a UI where you could, every building was configured and the administrator can pick and choose, and people could be kind of like Airbnb for moving stuff around. But what would then happen is, say, there's an auditorium with fixed dimensions, and Sally has to book the place for, I don't know, it can usually fit about 160 people, but she only needs, there to be enough chairs and tables for, 40 people. So the option would be to go into the UI and just pick and choose how the seating is to be arranged and pick a time. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Choose the time, choose the arrangement, and before the event was to happen, the robots would go and do their work. So, there's a bunch of ways of how that could play out. Like, you could do that in a super secure manner. You could kind of like use scanners to identify not just motion detected just not just motion detection, but the availability or the presence actually of biological material, as in human or animal flesh. So you kind of completely eliminate that chance of error when it comes to moving this. You can kind of use a couple of other technologies to make it super safe. But this is how it's going to work. All right, so let's get to the actual idea now. When the furniture needs to be moved, whichever time is identified for the furniture to be moved, these robots, they could even be like just resting underneath the actual furniture without anyone knowing. But these robots would come out at the intended time, and if imagine this is a table, right? So it's got obviously four arms or legs or whatever you want to call them. So what the robot would do is it would climb down to the base of that table, and then the wheel would come out. All right, and there will be like lithium-ion batteries attached to the robot, which would propel these wheels by itself, and then it would just roll to the location where it wants to be. Once the furniture is there, it would detach itself, go to the next furniture, and the cycle is going to repeat itself. So actually a pretty simple idea. The base version of this robot doesn't have to be that complicated. And if you don't want to use the wheel, and like I said, the robot itself can be made out of tensile strong material. So you could just like, the robot would just go to the base and somehow hoist one end of the table and go at the bottom, and then it would do some kind of mechanism, to maybe an arm or something, to secure it, and then one more would go, and then there's a bunch of ways you can do that. It doesn't have to be one by one. It can be all at the same time. You can coordinate those kind of activities, and once a pattern has been identified that all four of them are locked and loaded, you start another sequence, which would be to coordinate their movements, and they would kind of balance themselves. The advanced versions could even go on top of stairs. There's like robots that are moving heavy furniture and equipment. Robots made for moving stuff up the stairs. I saw that something out of Georgetown College in Toronto. But this is a super simple idea for moving furniture using small scale robotics. And I just thought of this idea when I was moving the furniture, and I thought I'm actually going to send this to a company I learned about. I'm not personally interested in this space, but this could be a pretty big business. All right, thanks for watching.